Every once in a long while, I like to do a vlog. Just you and me, chatting for a bit. So just sit back, relax. Let's talk about comics. Many fandoms hate change. If you mess with the formula of someone's favorite show or book, the fans will revolt. Sometimes them revolting is a good thing. It makes them change things back to how things were great. But many times, fans will realize a few years down the road that the change was for the better. This brings me to DC's newest series, Heroes in Crisis. I've been really anticipating this book. It's written by Tom King, who's been killing it writing Fat Man. Well, mostly. Heroes in Crisis came out last Wednesday, and the short of it is that superheroes have a crisis center to help them work through, their mental issues. Basically, you see a lot of messed up stuff in the hero biz, and they need mental help to sort through it all and continue to be rational people. They do so at a place called Sanctuary, set up by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Of course something goes wrong, and now the heroes must work through this new problem. The Heroes in Crisis. Haha! The best part of Iron Man 3 was Tony working through his PTSD.
Take it easy. Tony.
How did you get out of the wormhole?
Wait a minute. Tony. What did you say? Tony.
So, I'm totally down for this new comic. It stars Booster Gold, one of my favorite heroes, and Harley Quinn. So I thought maybe I was in for a goofy adventure. Whew! I was wrong! Now, if I have piqued your interest in this book, and you want to go read it, do it now, because we're heading into spoiler country. This is your warning. There are some heavy things we need to talk about here. Let's start this off with what the heroes have to face in the book. There has been a massacre at Sanctuary. At first, it's just a bunch of B-list heroes, like Hotspot. Who's Hotspot? I don't know who Hotspot is. Can we wiki that? I'll wiki that. But then Superman walks inside to see the corpse of Arsenal, Roy Harper, and the Flash, Wally West. This is huge. And to be frank, I'm still processing it. These two characters have led their own titles before in the past. They are not small fry. I'm, in fact, a huge fan of Wally West, as he was my fan growing up in the late 80s.
Your fan?
I'm a fan.
You said he was your fan.
He was my fan?
Yeah,
Shit! He was my Flash growing up in the late 80s and early 90s. He's the Flash you see in the Justice League cartoon.
If nothing else, I can at least learn the Flash's secret identity. I have no idea who this is.
He's, to me, the Flash. But now he's dead. And I'm a bit devastated here. I was ecstatic when they brought this character back in the Rebirth series. He seemed like a pivotal figure in Rebirth. I was very confused when he wasn't in Doomsday Clock, which seems to be wrapping up that story. He just came off a huge story arc called Flash War. It looked like he was going to be there for big stories. Now he's gone. All that potential for storytelling gone. No more adventures with Wally West. Oh, and also Speedy's dead. Yeah. So, anybody like Speedy? If you do, post in the comments why Speedy is great. Why Arsenal is great. I'll pin it or something. I'll do that. Just for you guys. Now I know what you're going to say. This is comic books. These characters will be back. Maybe, but I just want to point out that there's another Wally West and another character taking Arsenal's place as well. If these characters do come back, they won't stay back. At least not for a long time. I mean, Barry Allen was dead for almost 2 decades before they brought him back. Unless the fans cry out, these guys are dead. And even though I'm a fan of Wally, I think this is a good thing. Change and growth doesn't happen often in comics, but when you see it, Even if it tastes bitter, you should embrace it. Now watch me take back everything I just said as I introduce Booster Gold to the story. If you don't know who Booster Gold is, he was a nobody in the future who put on future gear and went back in time to be a superhero. It would be like if you put on a Kevlar vest, geared up with a submachine gun, downloaded everything you could onto your tablet, and got on a motorcycle and went back in time to the Dark Ages to fight crime. That's Booster Gold. He's self-aggrandizing, he's sometimes greedy, but his heart's in the right place. He's grown as a character too, becoming a time cop to keep the timeline in good order. He even took on Superman recently, stopping him from destroying all of time. Well, now he's a murderer. He committed the massacre at Sanctuary. He killed Wally. He killed Roy. And all of those other people too. Those guys. Yeah. This is something very out of character. I don't know. It feels like the character is ruined. A betrayal. I was a fan. But can I still be one? I know. I'm missing the point. This is a story about trauma and how we deal with it. Booster's seen some stuff and he's cracked under the pressure. We think heroes, superheroes, are super. They can't feel scared or helpless or have a mental break. They fight past it all the time, right? That's what superheroes are. What happens when their mind can't handle anymore? This is only the first book. And I'm sure with surprises like these, there are more to be had. I actually dislike reviewing the first book in a series. But this has to be taken a look at right now. I can't stop thinking about it. So the question is, do we revolt over Wally or Roy? Over Booster? Or do we accept this? Do we try to make peace with it? Or do we accept this? I'm shook.